I did the unboxing on these watches a little while ago. Let's cover them a little bit closer, cover some details. Maybe you can learn a little bit about the brand and what kind of offerings they have. Clearly you can see they're wild. These are Xeric, and even the way it's spelled, it's X-E-R-I-C. Now, you may not know this, but many of you regulars of the channel already are familiar with the brand. You just didn't know it. This watch strap right here, every time someone gets a glimpse of this watch strap, inevitably in the comments, I will get asked, where can I get that strap? That's an awesome strap. Well, sadly, you cannot get this strap anymore, but Xeric was the one that was selling it. Right there's their branding on it. It is a Horween leather, and it's a multi-padded type watch, or strap rather. Unfortunately, they've discontinued them. However, they do have some other straps offering on their website. I'll put a link to their website down below. You can check them out. You can find most of these watches there. This one here is not on their website anymore. But this one is kind of what's replaced it as far as a wandering hour, and there's some other offerings as well as watches like this, which are kind of like a spaceship or space pod. So again, Horween leather, quick release, and still has the padded, but it goes all the way down. So nice vintage vibe to it. Even this one, kind of like a rally strap, is also, again, Horween leather, and it is Xeric branded, and you can pick it up on their website, and they're really affordable, and they are great leather straps. So if you're in the market for affordable, really unique type watches or straps, Xeric is the place to go. Tell them I sent you. I don't have a discount code or anything like that. I'll reach out to them and see if I can get one, but most of their prices, they already kind of do discounts and stuff. So let's cover this one first. This is the Inverter, because the movement's inverted. So this is the rotor of this automatic watch. It's on the top side for your viewing pleasure. It's pretty wild. So on the case back, solid. Most of their watches are limited edition, but that's kind of normal for watches like this. You know, you're not going to make a ton of them. They have to be kind of limited just because they are so wild. This guy here, I think the retail price on it is like $750, and it's kind of like a space pod looking thing. I like most of their watches that are designed like this because they kind of look like cars or spaceships or something like that. This would be like the front window or whatever, and this would be the top side. And it's just kind of skirting across, and it's a unique wearing experience and conversation starter. So let's cover some details. The case width on this is 43 millimeter. The lug to lug is 44.2, thickness 13 millimeter, and you have a 6 millimeter signed push-pull crown. It is a 30 meter water resist on this, and you can get different colors. The movement is actually a Miyota 8M24, and it's a skeletonized movement, and they clearly customize all of their movements. Yeah, they might originate as, say, like a Miyota movement in most cases, but they are modified heavily to get them to operate the way they need them to operate. This one's easy enough to tell the time. So basically that red line is your definitive line, and then wherever it's placed on this hour and minute marker, that's what time it is. So, and it goes this way around. So that would be 6, 15, 30, 45, and then 7. So it's roughly 6:46. A little bit of a learning curve, but honestly, it's not that bad. Now, will you be able to get the time with it on your wrists at a glance? I think you could train yourself to get it, but this is what it's going to look like from the top side. It's going to be a bit of a challenge. I think a little bit of cant to it, and then, yeah, it's 6:46. I know what I'm looking for now because I kind of acclimated to it. So, but that's what it looks like on wrist. Completely wearable. I love the taper on the leather strap. That really makes it more comfortable. It goes down to like, geez, I don't know what that is. Is that 14 or something? That's really quite a taper. 15.4, so like 15 and a half. So nice taper on that guy. Before I get into this one, because this one is super cool, as is this one, But like I said, this Wandering Hour one is no longer available as far as I can tell, but it was on bracelet and it has a very unique green colorway. The loom on all of these is bonkers. But if you look at the case back on this one, it's a Miota movement, butterfly clasp, all this good stuff. And you can see, I think the name is actually on the case back. So grade 2 titanium, and it's the Retronaut limited edition. Quick release spring bars. Has, what does it have for hardware? I think it's split pin for hardware. Again, easy to size or easy to set. You can wind it. It's basically a modified Miota 9015, I think. Pretty sure. To get the Wandering Hours. And I'll show you that on this one, on this wood grain one. But same thing with the telling the time. You can see it's nearly 6:50. So in this case, this stays put. This is your minute track, and your Wandering Hour keeps rotating around. As this 6, well, I'll just show you. As this 6 progresses past, you'll see the 7 come into view right there. It's already locked and loaded. And then as it progresses through, you can kind of see that one rotate. You'll be able to see it better on this other one. So that would be 7:30. So pretty easy to acclimate to these. On wrist, I can give you that real quick too. The bracelet's not sized, but you get the point. Honestly, this one's more comfortable than the Space Pod looking one, and easier to tell the time, you know, directly down. But typically when you're reading your watch, you're canted anyway. Now let's check out this one. This one is probably one of the more interesting ones to me, as it looks like windows on a car. It's kind of inspired by, like, say, a 70s Lamborghini Countach, or like a Lotus or something of the same generation. It has that vibe to it with the warm tones and an actual real wood veneer inside. So I'm not a huge fan typically of wood being on a watch, but that's usually in reference to watches that are made from wood, even though I don't have a problem with them. I think some people that watch this channel probably own them, maybe as gifts, or they might have been sourced from like a whiskey barrel or something like that. That's pretty cool. But I think, you know, elements of wood in the watch, it's a little easier for me to accept versus like the whole watch case being made out of wood. I don't know about the longevity of that, I guess, is my issue. I'm not even sure the longevity of this. I'm not sure, you know, how well it's going to hold up over time, but it seems to be just fine as of now. That's super cool. I didn't do the measurements on this one on paper because I'm going to do them with you right now, because this one gets complicated because we have it narrowing here. So it's like just, you know, 31.5. At the wide point here, it's like 41. In the middle, 36, 37-ish. The lug to lug is going to be incredibly short because really you're going to have to go from like here to here sort of ish. So it's probably going to be like 38. But the whole width of the watch is like 44.9. I'm throwing a lot of measurements at you. I'll just show you it on wrist, and then you can, I think that's a better way to look at this watch. At its thickest point, it's 15.7. So a lot of weird measurements there, but on wrist is really what you need to be concerned with. This one is called the Vendetta X Auto, and the price point on this particular one there, I think there's more affordable options, but this one with all the wood and everything is pretty wild. It's up there. It's like $1,500, and it's a brown rosewood. Real, like I said, real wood veneer. You can clearly see that when I get close to it. That is actual wood. And it is a cool Wandering Hour, and you can see the Wandering Hour function of it more clear. The caliber is called the X2.4. It's pulled or modified from a Miota 9039. So if we pop that out and say it's, I don't know, 8:35. So if we're going to set it, and if you watch it, like you'll see the 7 come around, you'll see how that one rotates. This one's rotating. It's already into place. It's ready to go. So as the 7 goes by, the 8 enters into the show, and then you would just point the 8 to the 35, and there you go. That's 8:35. So it's pretty easy to set and understand once you just acclimate to it really quick. There's a look at the case back. Definitely can tell that it's a Miota movement from the rotor and base plates and everything. Again, Horween leather, Xeric branded strap. These are great straps. Even if you don't want to buy the watch, I'm telling you, the straps are killer deals. And they do clearance sometimes. They have some pretty interesting offerings in the strap department as well as the watch department. But there it is on wrist. It sits wild. It is a unique piece. You know, I do think that it might grab on some things occasionally, but it plants itself on wrist and wears good. Definitely a conversation piece. Someone, you know, it's going to look like the car, just the roof of a car is like mounted to your wrist at a much smaller scale. Pretty cool. All right, let's do a quick blast with the UV light on all of these because the lume is just kind of fun. Turn off the studio lights and we'll just check them left or right. So you can see here, the rotor's loomed out. The complete viewing window is all loomed out. It's fun, all right? And then this guy, super bright, very potent lume. And then this guy with all its windows to view, you can see the wandering hours that aren't in, you know, for the time, they're just kind of in the back for viewing. And then even pretty legible in the dark. So what do you guys think about these wild cards? Definitely, I'm telling you, definitely check out the straps. I wear Xeric straps on the regular. They're totally worth it. The watches are fun. They're pretty cool. Great wild card option for your collection. I'll see you guys on the next vid.